somebody. And what is big for somebody can also be small for someone. So I personally am of the opinion that whatever your take is, especially if you're not married and you are planning to get married, and of course, the wedding or your big day is always something that a lot of plans, a lot of thought goes into it, because for some of us, we have waited patiently for that day. We have prayed. We have sought the face of God, okay? And so we just do not want anything to go wrong. And we say, oh, it's the happiest day of your life, so to speak. And so why would you leave everything to chance and not make it? That's how come people will say, I don't want to be stressed. I don't want to lose weight. I don't want it telling on me that, Charlie, I've been stressed with the whole preparation. So I will get somebody to help me plan my wedding. So now it's not news if you decide that you want to sleep in your couch. Get somebody to do the work for you. All you need is give your specifications as to what you need, how you want it. And I'm sure that, Charlie, with good vendors around, you are good to get what you want. My question this morning is, why some men think women are unreasonable, if there's a word like that, when it comes to wedding. Is it because we do not even know ourselves as ladies, okay? And they say, oh, the problem is from the women. You women, when it gets to this time, you want to be dictating, you want to be calling all the shots and all that. And I sit here, disclaimer, but you see, it's an opinion, and I'm sure you're also entitled to yours, and I'll share this. Once you decide to settle with somebody and going forward marrying the person, which is ultimate goal of probably getting into a relationship with someone, that is if you think the person is your suitable partner. There's another part that comes when you prepare to get married and eventually settle together as husband and wife. I think you have known the person for an appreciable length of time, okay? You should know what kind of person you are getting married to. If you date me, Maxine, for example, and I mean, you have moved with me for quite some time now, and you are my boyfriend to be my husband, you should know that anything fashion, I am up for it. So if I come and I'm talking that I want seamstress A who is taking 4,000 for just my slates of kente, you should know this is what this is your madam, and this is what your madam wants. So I think it shouldn't really come as a surprise, but sometimes it's like the men are surprised, from nowhere, the person's taste has risen up. And people are thinking that, oh, the women are just stressing us. Are we playing alone? Or we also have a way of compounding your problems as men? And it still comes to the fact that I think people are not having honest conversations about what they want and how to get it. I don't have a word. See, if I have the money, ladies and gentlemen, if I have the money and I think the budget for the wedding per my financial strength is something I can handle even after marriage and still get some money for the unforeseen circumstances, Charlie, I'll have a lavish wedding. That's me. Oh, it is not about the word, yes. And you are listening right now, and sometimes I ask myself, do people do it because they have the means? If you do, I sit here and I'll say it. I watch people's wedding, I'm like, gosh, if I had money, it's not like I want to waste it. But this is me, because see, me crap had the pa. My soul like good things. And I don't know about you. So if I have what it takes, and I can do a projection that in the next 3 to 4 years, I'll still be comfortable financially and not having to go and burden family members after wasting all my money on wedding, and will be begging thereafter, I'm sure whatever I want, I'll get it. Is it necessary? Somebody would ask. Is it necessary that you pay somebody 40,000 just for decor? Is it necessary that you get a gown customized for you for, I don't know what outrageous price I can mention now. Alex, well, give me some price that we think, between the two of us, we think is outrageous just for a gown. 120 for a nice beaded gown, okay? And somebody is thinking, hey, and what is this? But I ask myself, tastes and preference differ, and it differs with people and personalities. But the caution here is that if you have high taste, preference in the things you want, and you know some people, they say they do excellent. They want things from, you know, there are people who even send you and they give you specific location where to get what. And it's them. Over the period, they've carved a niche for themselves. And so this is how they want their things done. Can we just respect them? Okay? Sometimes I think we have given unsolicited advice to people when we don't fully understand them. We sit back and we see the obvious and we conclude they are wasting money. There are times, I'll be very honest with you, there are people who, if they don't tell you how they plan for their wedding, you think they wasted all their money. But you see, sometimes it's even out of sheer benevolence. There are people who are so blessed to this. I tap into that anointing. There are people who are so blessed that somebody say, oh, I'll take care of your gown. I'll take care of the venue. I'll take care of the chairs. I'll take care of the food. Okay, I think I'm willing to host some few of your friends and family members for lunch. And these are blessings. So there are times you sit back and you're thinking, they wasted all this money on this. Meanwhile, it was just out of the benevolence of some other people. And so you cannot safely sit in your chair and conclude because you don't know the full details. There are some too, we know the full details and you just realize that these people are making a mistake. You know it, that they are financially struggling. The lady is not up there, the gentleman is not up there. And somebody is thinking, even if you are up there, must you waste your time or must you waste your money? And I'm thinking that what might sound wasteful to you might not sound wasteful to somebody. And it still comes to the fact that you know yourself, you know how much you are worth, you do a projection into the not too distant future, and know that, Charlie, even if I get to spend X amount of money on my wedding, I still have some backup. And that's where, are you listening right now and you think that, honestly, you are married and you think, I just wasted money. Next time when I die and I come back again and I'm organizing a wedding, maybe A will be out, B will feature, C is in. For me, I think wedding is a good time for family to come together and even celebrate God's goodness. So I'm placing a lot of premium. Like I've said it, I'll be selective though. I remember the first thing I said, my wedding questions, that I'll be very selective. But you see, then again, you don't know who you're getting married to. And so just when you think you are being selective and knowing who is going to make it on your guest list, your partner too is coming with 3 trotters of his family members from wherever they are coming from. Lambrosier, all the way from Sisala, just to come and see their wife, their son marry a nice girl in Accra. And so, and I always say communication is key. And it's always the point where you can negotiate, okay? And you negotiate on reasonable terms. Reasonability is subjective, but try. 50-50. You know that the people are 300. You say they should bring 50. How about let's do half of the 300 and do 150? So that's what we're talking about, that there are times we fail to talk and there are times we are not reasonable when it comes to negotiation. Are women just copying blindly? My friend did this, and so I should also do better. My friend did her reception at this place, so I should also do something. Does it feel like when it comes to the time to get married, we feel like it's a competition and we have to outdo each other? For me, I am sad when I hear that people would want to make comparison. But you see, then again, it's them, okay? But I will sit here and advise that, you see, as somebody will say, don't look at somebody's dance and dance your dance. That's true, and it's a proverb. So we just have to look at what you have, what you can take, how much you can pay, and then you go by it. Amma did this with 700 guests, brought kebab stand, brought mixologist, went to Saint went to honeymoon destination. And so you want to do same. Are you Amma? Do you have what Amma has? can you make provision for what you are anticipating or what you want to get? And that's another question. Are we more interested in the ceremony than the marriage? I've already said it. It is becoming a worrying trend. Now, most people are just all into the preparation, all into the decor, all into who is sewing whose dress, all into who is coming around to dance. But are we technically prepared for marriage, knowing that it's an institution ordained by God and that it's an honorable one? And so when you decide to get married, you do it and you do it well, and then you endure the benefits that comes with it. Big or small wedding, the choice is yours. Big woman, small woman, you know it when you know what you want. But you see, there's another part where I don't fully understand. And I'll be back to tell you why I don't understand after this break. We'll be right back.
Peny Radio.
Okay, so we are back. The question I don't understand is that they say, hey, Maxine, you are talking like this because you are not married. Wait till you start preparing for your wedding. You get confused as ever. And I'm like, for those who are married and listening right now, is there a point you got confused as to what you really wanted for your wedding? Have you changed your mind? Is there a childhood ideal setting or ideal type of wedding? I know people growing up like me, whatever it is, I'll do a garden wedding. Whatever it is. But if you're Catholic, please, this garden and the boat wedding is not happening in a church. So then you know you're on your own. But I know people who are like, it's garden wedding or nothing, it's beach wedding or nothing, destination wedding or nothing, and they are still holding on to those childhood fantasies. And you are thinking, if that is what you have dreamt all these years, what will change your mind? And I know there are people who also, for the sake of the older generations, think we are wasting a lot of time and wasting a lot of precious resources just because it's our big day. And so we think we just have to spend. And so constantly, they'll be telling us of the need to concentrate on marriage rather. But you see, even as Christians, I say, the God who created us wants good things. He likes good things. Like, you know it. And he expects that whatever we do, we prosper. And so I am of the opinion that if you can glorify God in your wedding, not necessarily letting it be lavish, but you know that, this is what God has given us. We can do this. For me, I'm always of the opinion, I want a simple but classy wedding. Somebody say, what is simple and what is classy? I know class, and I can identify class when I see class. Maybe when I get married, I should put it out there for you to see. Amen? Yeah, I'll video it. It will be on the channel. But that is what I want. I want, like, everything's in moderation. But Charlie, you come and you know that, oh, this is it. I have never thought of a weekday wedding. I have never wanted to do one. But still, I can change my mind and say I would want a weekday wedding, but still not losing the element of simple and classy, where simple is subjective and classy is subjective. But class is class, and class identifies class. So that is it. What kind of wedding do you want? Do you want the one that... And for me, I think wedding should reflect who you are. If you are the one who is financially stable, and you can give, maybe ordinarily on a normal day, you are sorting your friends' house in drinks, and so they expect that booze will overflow at your wedding. It's a reflection of you. For me, I tell myself this, I pray to God I get money. I'm sure I am going to do a special table for every young child who comes to my wedding. Because I love children and I love you. But I pray I have money so that I would also concentrate. There'll be my focus on that big day. Just to see all these nice people around saying, Auntie Maxine's getting married, you know. And so it is what you place premium on. There are those who place premium on the ring. They don't mind just Monday morning mass. Let's just see Father 2, 3 witnesses, let's go. And then the ring will speak for itself. Like you put your hand down, the ring is talking on your behalf. And so that is it. So what Akosia will like will be different from what Amma will like. But know what you like. Is there a point that you should compromise? I think so. If you know that this is not drifting away from totally what you have been envisaging for the past years, and it is what will bring you satisfaction, do it. Must we look at other people's templates and would want to replicate? No. Just do you. And that's the point I want to get to. Just do you. I do not understand why on a normal day you are not going to wear a weave that costs 2,000 or 3,000 Ghana cedis, and you are more beautiful in braids. And just because it's a trend, everybody's wearing frontal or something, you also want to wear some, when you know that you even look better in braids. Who sets the standard? I mean, that's fashion. The trend changes. But see, if you are comfortable in braids and you think doing rasta is what will make you look beautiful on your big day, and it's just getting 2 pieces of ultra to braid, and you will look good and it makes you feel confident, do it. If you have short hair and you just want to maintain your shirt. But you see, at that point when you just decide that it's time to start preparing for wedding, people thrown in ideas at you. And if you are not too firm. So I have a friend who bought like 2 different wedding gowns. Just because he sought opinion on the first one. The person says, oh no, this one looks like somebody who is pregnant, so don't wear this one. And she bought 2 wedding gowns. Because see, in her mind, she was not even settled. And this is the point I'm driving. Please settle in your mind, okay? It's always not easy to arrive at that decision anyway. But be settled in your mind. For me, I know 2 things, that I might do braids on my wedding or keep my short hair till something else happens. I mean, that is it. I know I don't want a lot of makeup. Just like a simple one, good to go. When you see me, you know that this is Maxine. But I know I want a nice, simple gown. I know I want a nice wedding band. I know that. So in your mind, please put the specifics there. So that when the wind comes blowing with different directions as to what you should stick to, you know that is you. People have done things just because they could not stick to the original decisions and they regret. You messed up my... People are still blaming their friends for things that did not go well at their wedding just because you are just double-minded. And Bible says it's a double-minded person does not receive anything. So once you are double-minded, it gives room for things to start breeding, okay? And when you're not too careful, that is it. What do I want to say again? You cannot just, in the name of wedding, break your account and go bankrupt and be at 0.00 whatever just because. And you do not have to prove a point to anybody and explain yourself. Oh, we did it small because my father-in-law was not feeling. No. Your reasons are your reasons. You don't owe anybody any explanation as to why you. I know people who think that, oh, she's going to have, and people get disappointed. Oh, her wedding, the way we are putting her on a certain pedestal. Let people put you on whatever pedestal they want to put you. At the end of the day, it's both parties. You know what best works for you. Just stick to the original plan. Fine, you might get help at a point with ideas and all that. But ask yourself, the things that are being thrown at you, is it a reflection of who you are as an individual? And it must reflect. I mean, whatever it is, your wedding is a reflection of you and your partner. So it must reflect. So I can understand. Do people know what they want nowadays? I am afraid to say this. No. That's how come people can make suggestions. People can say things. And within a split second, people will change their mind over things they have held on to. It is not because of one wedding you lose your sense of personality. People do eyelash and you're thinking, she didn't need this. She shouldn't have. I mean, but you see, you get makeup people talking you into doing things that you don't like. You get people telling you to fix nails that ordinarily you have not fixed nails before. But you say it's your big day. Your hands have to look nice. And I'm thinking, if I am comfortable with just nail polish, madam, polish my hand and let me go. must I do acrylic with all the things? But if it's acrylic you like, you adore acrylic, you've always been a fan of acrylic, please go ahead. For me, I can just do with a nice nail polish and I'm good to go. So what I might feature as what I want on my list will be different from another woman. But largely what we are saying is that sometimes we have failed to be reasonable. Sometimes we have allowed other people who we think have set the standard, so we must follow suit, determine how we also have our plans for our wedding. Sometimes we also go overboard, not thinking of the future and what the future holds in terms of finances. But you see, if you have, I'm still reiterating, if you have what it takes, do it. Where the name was a casa. And I can understand this one, please. Nobody should come for my head. People say things like, if you go and do it big right now, that is where the evil spirits will arise and they will. Hey, please. Me, Alex. So the evil spirit, they don't know of what is happening in the dark when you are preparing. Or it's only the big day that they apply. See. Or after the wedding, that the evil spirit will arise. And I say this to the glory of God. I know people who have had grand weddings. Marriage is working. You can have the low-key wedding saying evil eyes will be chasing you after you. If it won't work. Please, come for my head if you like. But this is the point. And sometimes as Christians, I'm not being apologetic about this. We hide and fine, we can understand. But you see, if it's a reflection of you, you have prayed about it. For some of us, you are getting married, you know how you struggle with sexual purity. Now God has sustained you, the up and downs. Won't you glorify? Sometimes your weddings are even testimonies of God's goodness. And so I believe in powers, principalities, dark age people. I believe in that. I believe in their existence. I believe in the fact that all they do is to kill, steal, and destroy. But for me, I will not sit down and allow my mind to be captured by the fact that, whether you have big weddings that attract evil spirits. See, marriage, I'm not married, but it's work and prayer. So if you have prayed holistically for every aspect, you have sought the face of God, I think it's time to glorify the Lord, whether lavishly or low-key. But please, if you are thinking you want to do low-key, do your low-key and stop running with it is when you do the big ones, that's the evil spirit. I can understand. They like it when we expose ourselves, right? And so but when we keep low-key, they don't see us too. Do they? Or they don't like low-key. So these are questions I'm throwing out there. If you have a varied opinion, I'm sure I'll be good to take in that. So it's been Random Thought with Maxine. This morning we are talking small or big weddings, and I'm asking, do you have what it takes to finance it? Have you spoken about it? Are you being reasonable as a young? Because the men says the women, and when it gets to that point, no, everything stops working in terms of mind. Their mind is already made up. And so there's nothing you talk, and so it's kind of like scaring the guys away. But I still will think that, that whether or not you decide whether it's a small or big wedding, which can be subjective, is the two of you your matter. Talk about it. Be plainly honest about it, Charlie. We only have 2,000. If you are buying this for 1,500, we are left with 500. Like, once you're able to break it down, and that's it. And so we do not live as women waiting for you to propose to us as men and kill you eventually by our outrageous wedding demands. No. I think there's a point that we can all negotiate so that it's mutually beneficial to both parties. Thank you so much for your time. If you are preparing to get married, still continue to know what you want. And keep revising your notes if that will make your life better. If you said at a point it's a small wedding, now you have the means, and you have been saying this over and over again, want to change your mind, just pray through it and do what makes you comfortable and not what people have set as the standard. Do what makes you comfortable. Do what reflects on you as a child of God. Don't do anything that's burdensome. Primarily, do anything and everything that's reasonable and that is within your personality and that is within your strengths. Thank you so much for your time. It's been wonderful connecting with you. Big or small wedding, the choice is yours. Make sure you take a good choice. You make a good choice. And always know that at the end of the day, the wedding gets done and then we'll live life eventually. And that's what we say, welcome to the real world, right? Where all the decor and things have gone, but it's the marriage that's staring you in the face. Will you look back at your wedding and say, no, I'm running away from the marriage because, Charlie, the wedding is just for a day, but the marriage is forever. Let's keep hope alive. Let's keep doing the things that makes us us. Just do you. Be comfortable in your skin. Do not let anybody push you around to do things that you sit and regret, but you can't just not say it. And this is one platform. Just make sure you apply all these steps to every decision of your life. Do you and be you. I'm out.
You live on Peny Radio, your number one online Christian radio station. Peny Radio, hope for the hopeless.